And then again, if you haven't seen it, we'll do another look coming up in about 15. All right, we're gonna move on, continue with our origami theme. This is one of my very favorites because it's the very first thing we ever had from the origami line on the air. And it's funny to smile and think, I'm so fond of shelves. Like, whoever looks at their plastic shelves in the garage, they're leaning over and they're warping and go, I love those shelves. But when you get origami, you end up loving the origami shelves because they're all about durability and quality and versatility. And this is what started it all. It actually was in pewter, and that's the colors I actually have. This is the big guy. This holds the most. It holds the most weight. It has the biggest capacity of any origami that we offer. And tonight, it's not just one. You are getting 2 of these in our special offer, which is really exciting. 2 of our 4-tier racks, 1 shipping, thank goodness on that, and 5 flex pays included, and we have this at a feature price. These are normally $260, what are we doing, $69. We're at $239 tonight. You have your bronze choice, that's the first set. Behind me, over to the left, is gonna be your platinum right here. That's the platinum, and again, you're getting 2. Here's the white, which once again, it's a 2-pack. Right here's gonna be your black. So we have the white, we have the black, so it's platinum, white, black. Then we have, of course, the ever popular red. And then finally, this one's gonna be, I think we're calling this steel blue. Is that the color of this one? Steel blue, there you go. So, and again, all of these come in a 2-pack. So to continue with our origami theme tonight, we're gonna go to Lou Caputo to tell us much more about this. And Lou, it's funny, we just had on the kitchen cart with Tracy, right? Same concept, same ease of assembly, right?
The great thing, we always use the word assembly, but it's not really accurate with origami because there is no assembly, There's no tools required. Yeah, it's more of setting up than anything else. So let me just show you how this works, because if you've never seen origami before, and I don't know if Tracy mentioned it earlier, but it is named after the ancient Japanese art of paper folding. And this particular rack we've been selling for over a decade now, which is absolutely crazy. But when you get it home, you're gonna get both of these in a box, and I know this because I just got a set last week, okay? They come flat packed like this, 4 inches wide. The hardest thing you're gonna do is get it out of the box, because once it's out, you're home free. It's so simple. You just grab the sides and pull like this, and the rack just falls open, okay? On the back of it right here is a toggle that is a patented design that Origami makes. You push that down. Now notice how the whole rack sort of sat down? The bottom of this is already stable. Then all you've gotta do is just flip over that top shelf like this, and you're done. Now that's it for the setup portion of this, but there is one question. Do you want to put wheels on it or do you not want to put wheels on it? We give you 4 wheels, 2 of them are locking wheels, but you have a choice here. Now, if you put the wheels on it, it's going to raise it about 3 inches off the ground, so we recommend you limit yourself to 75 pounds per shelf, which is 300 pounds that you can roll around. Remember, you're getting 2 of these, so that's 600 pounds you can roll around, okay? But without the wheels, you can go to the maximum weight capacity, and this is where it gets cool. 250 pounds per shelf, 4 shelves, 1,000 pounds per rack. So Suzanne, I love saying this, you're literally getting a ton of storage tonight. 2 racks, 1,000 pounds apiece.
And the angels sing, because here's the thing. How many of you have a really messed up basement, a really messed up attic? Maybe you've got the garage and there's just stuff everywhere. There's boxes everywhere. How many of you have a storage space that has 5 boxes on top of each other? You wouldn't even dare move them to get to that bottom box because they're too heavy. How many of you have tons of sporting equipment? You've got a lot of kids involved in sports, or maybe it's camping or fishing or whatever it can be. Maybe it's all your gardening equipment because you love to garden. This is one of my favorite examples, because a lot of times we buy this stuff, we want to get organized, but if these were all piled on top of each other and they were super heavy, I would never get to this bottom one, but now because of Origami, I can. And guys, these are really large tubs. These aren't like those little teeny shelvy tubs. They're big tubs and held and organized beautifully. So finally you can get to your stuff easily. You can organize your stuff. And Lou, it's so funny. I can count on my hand how many of my friends complain about they cannot even pull their car into the garage because there's so much junk in there. And Origami truly comes to the rescue. And it's funny because I recommend Origami to my friends who are trying to get their garages organized, because it's a perfect thing to use in a messy garage.
Well, and you know why? Because unless you're going to build an addition on your house and move out horizontally, we take advantage of the vertical space. Because I'll tell you right now, the walls in our house have been closing in because of all the props that I've had here and all the product samples that we show on the air and camera equipment. I mean, so with all this stuff here, it just made sense. I was like, all right, I'm not building an addition, so we're going up, you know. And I did the same thing in my storage unit, and that's something I think people need to think about too. You pay for every square inch of that floor to ceiling and everything in between. So take advantage of what you know, get as much as you can. And because you're getting 2 racks, now you can start doing cool stuff like stacking them side by side like this. Get a couple more, and you got this whole like little file system where you can pull things in and out. I love that about these. But you know, people use these in places where you wouldn't put shelving. For instance, walk-in closet, walk-in pantry. I have mine in my garage actually in front of metal cabinets, and I just pull them out of the way when I want to access something. So, you know, you got to think out of the box a little bit with origami, but once you get them home and see what these are made of, because we haven't talked about that, these are powder-coated steel. So what that means is they're going to be chip-resistant, scratch-resistant, but Suzanne, corrosion-resistant. So you can use them indoors, you can use them outdoors, wherever you want.
Yeah, oh my goodness, and that's what happens too. I was talking about the stainless steel cart, the kitchen cart we have. You'll buy it for one reason, and then when you get it at home, you'll find a dozen other reasons why you need them. And it's really cool because we have people who email and text us and message us and say, I've got 50 origami, because we have a lot of versions of it. This is by far the biggest capacity. It's the heaviest weight that it can hold that we offer across all the brands. For example, I love this, look, because I've never had a laundry room. I've never had a laundry room my whole life. I don't live in big enough places to have a laundry room. But we want to create a laundry space. So look how awesome this is. And again, I could put literally 3 baskets on top of there, at least 2 big baskets right there. And let's say you've got guests coming over and you've got an extra space for them, but they have no place in the drawers or the closets of that guest room to put their stuff. Heck, you could put a whole suitcase on top of here. For those of you who are crafters, now Lou's wife Kelly and I are both big avid crafters. And that's originally what I used my origami big shelves for, was to put all my sewing machines on. I had all my Cricut supplies on. I had these babies loaded up, I mean packed out with tons of stuff. And if you buy a lot of 12 by 12 paper, you know how heavy it gets when you have a lot of it. And this not only held it beautifully, but I could roll them around to clean underneath them, Lou. I kind of loved that feature.
No, that is a great feature. Well, and that's the whole thing, is you can get behind these, you can get around these, you can move them to the other side of the room. You know, now Kelly still has hers, a teal one that is in her craft room, and it's a closet that's has, you know, the bifold doors on it, and there were no shelves in it except one shelf on the top, and that was it. So it fit in there absolutely perfectly, and now she can take it out. You know, whenever she needs to work on a project, everything's on there, and it makes it very convenient. Now, what I love about these is the fact that they are a storage solution, not a storage problem, meaning when you're not using it, you fold it down just like this, okay? When you want to use it, you just pop it open, and in seconds, you're good to go. And this is great for people that move a lot, or maybe you got kids that are going back to college, and, you know, at the end of the year, you're taking their furniture home. I've never seen a piece of origami at the end of the school year sitting by the curb, but I've seen lots of other furniture sitting out there that people don't want to take home. So you know what I mean? You know, and I told you the story the other night. When we moved into this house, when I moved out of my last one, I had put up these beautiful wire shelves. I had drilled it. I mean, everything. I had this place all tricked out in the garage, and then we moved. And I left it all there. And it was like my closing gift to the, you know, the new owners. Like, here you go.
It's all done. Well, and that's
all done.
And that's a great story too. I have people, and again, I talk shelves to people. They're like, my son, he's an avid book reader. He loves reading real honest to goodness books. He's like, Mom, I got to get some shelves to get all my books organized. He's got hundreds of books. I said, go online and look at the origami. Just pick from our origami line, because I know him still being in college. He's got several more moves in his life, and guess what? His books and his shelving can go with him. It's not like you're buying stupid dumb particle board. Gosh knows, don't waste your money on plastic shelves. There's not a wrench that comes with this. You don't have to put a million little pieces together, and you know it's got it can stand the weight. I will bet you any amount of money right now, if I were to go to your garage, you probably have a bunch of shelves that have paint cans on them, and they're bowing, and no one will touch the paint cans, because you know if you remove one, the whole thing's gonna collapse. I can bet you any amount of money, there's a ton of you out there who have that situation. This changes it all. And Lou, I said this every time I talk about these origamis, they change as your needs change and as your lifestyle changes.
Well, they do, and I'll tell you, it's interesting because like Kelly was doing a bunch of planting with herbs outside, so she had all the the little herb things that you get at the home improvement store, the little pots of plants, and all over this thing. And she didn't plant them right away, so she left them on here and she watered them. And you can do that because the water runs through there. I've stored firewood on these. I've got tools out in the garage. She's got her craft stuff in there. I got camera equipment back here. I mean, with origami, you're only limited by your imagination. People, I mean, it's furniture too. That's the other thing. It's not just storage. You've seen the videos where people use as entertainment centers, right there in the laundry room. Suzanne, you know what we call my laundry room?
What?
We call it the garage because I don't have one. But we do have an origami out there. But we do have an origami out there that has all of our laundry stuff on it because some of those things are corrosive, like bleach. You don't want that going on particle board or plastic. It'll eat right through it, but not the powder coated steel.
Well, and another great example is we've had people who said, oh, I put all my bird cages on there with their birds. We've got people who say, I love my fish tanks. They've made them as gaming centers. And again, it's whatever your needs are. Your needs could change throughout the day or throughout your lifetime. And the one thing that will move with you, I guarantee it, is your origami. I had some of our smaller shelved origami units, and they originally were part of my crafting space that had all my vinyl for my Cricut on it. Not these, it was a smaller version. And when I went to move, it is now like a filing system in a very small closet I have that has all my visors and all my hats and my shoes and things like that. So it started out as one thing when I bought it, and now it's become something